Well, hello there. I hope you're doing well. It's me. It's been a little while. But I wanted to kind of give a little bit of an update about what's been going on with the channel, what's been going on with me personally, and to kind of put a short answer on it. Basically, there's been a lot of things that have kind of prevented me from making a video, and some of it's been a motivation issue, just trying to actually get the motivation to make a video and edit it and post it and all that stuff. But what started in the beginning was essentially there was a couple pieces of hardware that had failed, and I had some weird USB power issues that I was trying to sort out because the microphone kept cutting out and weird things like that. So I ended up getting that resolved, got a new Amazon Legato XLR powered a phantom power basically input for my microphone. The old one was essentially getting power and feeding the audio signal in through one USB cable, and I think that was just too much for the USB bus that is on my computer. I tried to do different things, and just the way my setup is, I wanted to get something that was externally powered, so got that. Mic is back up and running and hopefully sounding clearer than ever. So we've got that up and running. I also got a upgraded camera, which, hello. But also just been kind of, doing other stuff in life. I mean, trying to maintain things around the homestead, and, focusing on a lot of stuff at work. When I focus on projects, whether it be home and work, I devote a lot of energy to it, and it really kind of takes away from other things. So especially if I devote a lot of energy to, like, let's say YouTube, or the channel brand, or just going out to conventions, things like that, which I've kind of cut back a little bit. I was gonna go to Southeast Game Exchange. I didn't get a chance to go this year just because I made a conscientious choice to focus on certain things that lined up at that time otherwise. So I wish I could have gone, but next year I'll definitely be going. And I was talking with fine folks at Southeast Game Exchange, and they definitely want to see me there next year, so it'll be cool. But that being said, also just been kind of slowly gathering some new stuff for, just my personal, collection. Just been getting some games, retro games, and I've bought more retro PC software and games than I've bought in a while, and it's usually at thrift or really cheap online, in different places. And I've also been getting some software that there's a couple of them that I completely forgot about, and I loved it as a kid, and I found like really nice copies of them. So I'm going to be showcasing that, of course, coming up. But a couple other things too. I mean, you probably see in the background like a top shell for a horizontal laying desktop. That is actually my newest acquired piece of hardware. So I've explained I'm obviously, if you've been following the channel for a while, I'm big into retro PC hardware. I'm not one of those people that just kind of buys everything they see and, resells or collect. I essentially lay out, I'm like, all right, well, what is my goal? What do I want to play? And for me, I wanted to cover a lot of the different early eras of DOS gaming, going through Windows gaming up till about Windows XP era. So that included, I have a 286 processor based computer, which is super early DOS games, at least for what I'm doing. I've also got a Pentium 1 200 megahertz processor, so it's kind of a big jump between those two, right? And then I have a Pentium 3, I believe either 900 megahertz. I think it's about 900 megahertz, so another kind of a bigger jump. And then a Pentium 4, which has XP on it, and that's for, LAN party games and, that era of games, XP games. And then I've got my modern computer, which it's mid-range at this point. It's pretty good. It can play the new stuff, and I guess I am, I consider myself a PC gamer because I've been such a long-term PC gamer, but I don't give myself a whole lot of time to game anymore. But when I do, my main platform is PC. Anyways, I was like, well, there's one era, there's one range that I felt like, I was like, if I could find a, you know, for the right price, for the right value of the hardware, and something I could potentially build off of a little bit, maybe not just completely tear apart and rebuild again, but I wanted to get a 486 era computer. So, you know, mid 90s, strictly right in the middle of the mid 90s, which is kind of the sweet spot. You know, it runs, you know, earlier games like Doom, it'll run really nicely. It'll run, you know, depending on how late or how early that processor is, it might work with Windows 3.1 better. It might work with, you know, Windows 95. And the one I got, I ended up getting one. I found one and ended up getting a really good deal on it. Hopefully. I just got it in, and I just tore it apart. Well, didn't really. I took the top shell off just to inspect the parts because I didn't know really the internals for it. I got it for a good deal because I didn't really know what was inside of it other than that it was, you know, a 486 DX2 66 megahertz processor. I knew it because they had posted the power on self-test, the post screen that showed the amount of RAM in it and the processor. And just that alone, I was like, everything else I can work with, right? It powers on, it needs a new battery, a new clock battery. It's actually one of those combo Dallas batteries. Basically, it's like the real-time clock and the battery, like a lithium type battery, I think, in like a chip, like a solid chip. It's not like a watch battery that you can replace, or even at that time they also had barrel batteries that were actually, I'm glad they didn't have it because those are kind of a nightmare, and they often can leak and cause a problem. But let me show you. I've got the action cam right here. I'm going to switch to, and we're going to oh, you can kind of see the other corner of my desk where I've got my stack of newer to me, some of it is newer to me, some of it's not, of retro PC software games, stuff like that. I've got my CRT monitor here, but I'm going to go ahead and show you. That is my 486. Come on. There we go. It's not focusing. Not good enough light. There we go. A little bit better light now. As you can see, it's got the 486 DX266 processor in there. A little blurry. Sorry about that. It's got a diskette drive in here by Sony. Torson CD-ROM drive, which seems to work. But it's also, what's kind of cool, this is from AST. And I'll probably do a video on it a little bit later, but AST brand. And it's got the memory right here, and it's got a daughter board riser right here. So there's a board that's coming up from the motherboard, and it has the expansion cards going sideways, including the top there, which is actually, I believe, a 33.3 modem right there. So that's a modem. And what's more interesting right here, and yeah, let me zoom. Oh, there we go. It's actually going right now. This has actually got the an ESS sound card built right into this riser board here, which I have never really seen before. I'm sure it's pretty common, but with these types of computers. But there's a ribbon cable that goes out to the back here for the audio input and output there. But yeah, it's an ESS, and I know it's sideways, but as you can kind of see too, that's a Texas Instruments 486 DX266 processor. So really cool stuff to me, and I mean, everything looks good. The capacitors look really good on it. I mean, it's dusty, right? It's dusty, but let's put that back there. Yeah, it looks clean. It boots up. You know, I'm gonna turn it on right now in the background. it boots up. Of course, the battery is dead on the motherboard, so it's, you know, it's not going to go anywhere. It's not going to show anything. Oh, I did have it hooked up. And yeah, so let me switch back to the action cam. All right, so if you can see, it's a an AST computer with a TI 486 DX2 processor, and it says it's got dead RAM. So, or dead battery, dead RAM. So yeah, I'm really excited. I've seen a few different people that make replacements, you know, basically pop-in replacements. I've seen a couple of hacks where you can kind of Dremel your way into the chip and solder in a watch battery. I mean, I might play around with that once I get a replacement, because I don't want to mess this up. I don't think you can mess it up doing that, but pretty solid. The biggest thing though is, I mean, it detects everything. It's got a hard drive in there as well that it does detect, which is great. I don't remember the size. I think it's like a 50 meg. I don't know, maybe a 500 megabyte hard drive, something like that. 500 meg, which I may change out anyways. I don't know if it's good or not, but I do have my box copy of Windows 3.1 that I'm probably going to use that to load on there. I was going to put 95. It actually, on the chip itself, you probably saw the Windows logo. It says it's designed for Windows 95, but 486 on Windows 95, I'm not sure if it's going to run amazing. I'm going to probably try it eventually, but I'll probably, if the hard drive's bad, what I might do is I might just swap it out for one of those like SD card adapters. I've done that before with a compact flash on my Pentium 3 machine and my 286, and you've probably seen there's a video on the 286 that I've got. Is will the 286 run Doom? And the answer is no, of course. It's really meant for the 386, 486 kind of generation going into that. But that being said, yeah, I'm excited. I'm really excited for this. This is the last one I really wanted to get, and yeah, I've got it. So I'm pretty happy about that. So I'll probably be, you know, making the boot disk and putting on Windows 3.1 on it and seeing if it works, and hopefully I'll take some footage and document it a little bit. And between this machine and the Pentium machine, I'll probably those are probably the two I'm going to be using a lot for playing some of the games and doing some more install videos and showing you some of the games I've either never played before, or it's been, you know, 20, 30 years since I've played some of these games, and I want to show you these games. But the great thing is I now have a computer that pretty much covers every generation that I would want to play games on. The only one I'm missing is the Amiga, which I've never had one. I just, you know, where I lived, there was Tandy's, there was, IBM XT, IBM PC Junior, Atari, those computers, but I had never seen an Amiga where I had lived in the Northeast. And I would love to get my hands on an Amiga computer. That's probably the last one, and I'm going to be very passively looking for it. I'm not going to be seeking one out, but yeah, that's going to be the last one on my PC bucket list, so to speak. So just wanted to kind of throw it out there as well. Do you have a 486? Do you remember growing up using a 486? Do you play games on a 486 or even original Pentium level computer? Are you big into retro PC gaming? If you are, check out some of my other videos, and I'm definitely going to be continuing to do some some retro PC videos as well. That's kind of the big thing that I'm focusing on. But also, as you can see in the background, I mean, you see the Sega Saturn games over there, Genesis games, big Sonic fan, and I'm going to be covering, there's some videos I'm planning on doing about covering some of my favorite games of each console that I've ever played and ever owned. So stay tuned for that. More retro gaming. But yeah, let me know what you want to see. For the retro console games, that one's kind of tough for me because I want to make videos that I would want to watch, and without the amount of time that I have to actually play these games, because some people they do reviews, but they play them for like 10, 20, 30 hours or more depending on the game. And sometimes I want to jump in and I want to share a game that I enjoy, but I don't want to replay or go through the whole thing 30, 40 hours depending on the game. Like if it's an RPG, if it's like a beat 'em up, it's a couple hours, whatever. But so what kind of games gameplay do you like? Do you like to see gameplay? Do you like to see the install videos, retrospectives? What kind of videos do you like? Let me know in the comments. I just want to hear from you. I really, I love making content that talks about my experiences, and I love to share what I have. And I think I'm at a point where I've got enough of a backlog collection that I've, a lot of the stuff behind me I've had for decades. This is stuff that I've had in my personal collection, and all of it pretty much means a lot to me. There's a lot of games that, let's say, I picked up recently, like Roger Wilco. I picked it up at a for PC. I picked it up really cheap, and I had never played this series, even though it's a classic Sierra game, and I love them. This is just Roger Wilco 6. I've never played this one, so I wanna play it. Something like Blake Stone on Planet Strike. I played Aliens of Gold, Blake Stone Aliens of Gold, the other game. I never played this one, and it looks very similar, but I'm very interested in playing this one. So this one's very close to my heart too. But yeah, there's stuff that I've picked up that maybe I haven't really played before. Like they're newer games. This is probably the XP level games that I'd probably be using. It doesn't say on the box, but I'll have to look at it. It's probably XP or even Vista level games. But Lord of the Rings, fun stuff, fun little stuff I picked up. And then things like Encarta 95 that I used when it was brand new. I think I got it with a computer back in 95, 94, 95, whenever it came out. And it's like for distribution with a new PC, so I use this stuff, and this is really nostalgic for me. So this is the kind of stuff that I would buy anymore, is just the cheaper stuff that I'm very nostalgic for, and I want to share my knowledge on and my enthusiasm for. So yeah, let me know what you want to see and what kind of videos you like. I'll definitely be making videos that I'm very I'm very excited about. I'm just turning off the old computer and the monitor. I'm going to be making videos about things I'm excited about, like if there's maybe a couple Kickstarters that I backed that came in, things like that are just kind of in line with the different things I'm doing with my actual life, the things I'm really excited with, and yeah. So let me know what kind of videos you want me to see, or you want to see that and want me to make, regarding retro PC, regarding retro consoles. And again, I am a modern PC gamer as well. I do have some modern consoles as well. So again, let me know. I've even considered streaming, and again, in order for that I believe for myself to be successful, I have to dedicate specific time to do that. I might do that. If you enjoy that type of content, let me know. I'd probably be doing it on YouTube if anything, and setting specific times of the day that I'd be doing that. Probably again like PC gaming, maybe, you know, recording some footage for an upcoming video. Blah. Let me know. Let me know. And yeah, I hope you're all doing well. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you soon. Take care and game on.